Dad and stepmom threw me out in a blizzard on my 18th birthday. Grandpa found me dying in the car with fever, almost frozen to death. Mom's secret revenge plan destroyed them, at the charity gala, publicly. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but mine came with a side of frozen tears and a main course of pure, calculated fury. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to plot someone's downfall with military precision. But then again, I never thought my own father would throw me out into a Cleveland blizzard on my 18th birthday either. Yet here I am. Clara Evans, formerly the invisible daughter, now the architect of the most spectacular family destruction this side of Lake Erie has ever witnessed. My mother, Caroline, died when I was 16. Cancer took her slowly, and during those final months, she held my hand with fingers that grew thinner each day, and whispered promises about how everything would be okay, how Dad would take care of me, how our family restaurant chain would always be my safety net. Dad married Brenda exactly 11 months after Mom's funeral. 11 months Brenda came with baggage in the form of Tiffany, her 17-year-old daughter, who had perfected the art of looking angelic while being absolutely vicious. Where I was quiet and studious, Tiffany was loud and demanding. Where I helped in the kitchen and asked for nothing, Tiffany threw tantrums until she got everything. The changes started small. Family photos disappeared from the walls, replaced by generic hotel art. Mom's recipe books vanished from the kitchen. Her garden was torn up for expensive landscaping. Each erasure of my mother's presence felt like a small death, but I said nothing. I had promised Mom to be patient. When Brenda suggested I get a job to learn responsibility, I didn't protest. I started working at a coffee shop, saving every penny, because something in my gut told me I'd need it someday. When she convinced Dad to update the guest room where I kept Mom's things, I quietly moved everything to the basement. But the real poison was how she worked on Dad. Slowly, systematically, she convinced him that I was ungrateful, that I took advantage of his generosity, that I needed tough love to become a responsible adult. "Richard, don't you think Clara should contribute more to the household?" She'd say this while arranging fresh flowers that cost more than my monthly coffee shop earnings. The financial manipulation started gradually. Dad had always managed Mom's trust fund and my college account, but suddenly there were complications. Brenda needed to be added for tax purposes. The restaurant business required restructuring. I was 18 and naive, trusting that my father had my best interests at heart. I should have paid attention to the way Brenda's eyes lit up when she talked about the restaurant's prime real estate. I should have questioned why Tiffany suddenly had a brand new BMW when Dad claimed money was tight, but I was still that girl who believed in family loyalty. The night that changed everything was the 15th of December. I walked into the house after my coffee shop shift, shaking snow from my coat, only to find Brenda stuffing my clothes into black garbage bags, not packing them neatly, but cramming them in like actual trash. "What are you doing?" I asked. Brenda looked up with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, good, you're home. We need to talk." Dad sat in his chair, staring at his hands, refusing to meet my eyes. "Clara," Brenda's voice took on that saccharine tone. "Richard and I have been discussing your future. You're 18 now, legally an adult, and it's time for you to learn independence." "What do you mean?" "But I already knew this house isn't a hotel for freeloaders." She continued, "Your mother's spoiling is done. It's time for you to experience the real world." I turned to Dad, desperate. "Dad, you're really going to let her throw me out in a snowstorm?" He finally looked up, and what I saw broke something inside me. It wasn't love or concern, it was inconvenience. I had become an inconvenience to him. "Clara, Brenda's right. You need to learn to stand on your own feet. Your mother protected you too much. Protected me too much." I felt something hot rising in my chest. Mom loved me. There's a difference. Brenda's mask slipped for just a moment. "Your mother is dead. Clara and her little princess fantasy died with her. This is Richard's house now, and I won't have a grown woman acting like a spoiled child under my roof." That's when she did it. She reached into a garbage bag and pulled out my mother's jewelry box, the small, wooden one with a ballerina, without breaking eye contact. Brenda opened it and dumped the contents onto the coffee table. Mom's pearls, her wedding ring, all scattered like worthless trinkets. "These baubles should have been sold years ago," Brenda said, picking up Mom's wedding ring. "Richard, we could get good money for this diamond." I lunged forward, but Brenda held the ring high. "These belong to the estate now, Richard is the exact." Her dad nodded miserably. "Clara, be reasonable. These things are just objects. Mom would want me to have them." I was shouting now. "She promised. Your mother promised a lot of things she couldn't deliver." Brenda said smoothly, "But promises don't pay bills. Now you have 5 minutes to take what you can carry and get out." 5 minutes. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore. Brenda was already heading toward the door. Richard helped her with the bags. When I tried to access my savings account the next day, I discovered the truth. The account that was supposed to have nearly $50,000 had been cleaned out. Every penny had been transferred to Evans Family Management LLC, which was just Brenda's personal spending fund. That first night, I sat in my car in a diner parking lot, watching snow pile up on my windshield. I had $17 in my wallet, a quarter tank of gas, and a garbage bag full of clothes. The car itself, Mom's 2003 Subaru Outback was the only thing of value I had left. The next 3 weeks were the longest of my life. I learned which gas stations had the cleanest bathrooms for washing up, which fast food places would let you sit for hours with just a cup of coffee, which parking lots were safe to sleep in. I kept working at the coffee shop, showing up each day with a smile plastered on my face. The cold was brutal. I'd run the heater until I ran low on gas, then sit wrapped in every piece of clothing I owned, shivering until I fell asleep from exhaustion. Some mornings, I woke up with frost on the inside of the windows. But what hurt more was the complete erasure of my existence. I drove by the house once and saw Brenda and Tiffany loading Saks Fifth Avenue bags into Tiffany's BMW, laughing through the window. I could see they'd already redecorated. Everything that had been mine, everything that had been Mom's, was gone. That's when I saw Tiffany's Instagram post from Aspen, designer ski gear, champagne, luxury suite. The caption, "Family is everything, so blessed."